We are talking about our friends over at MeUndies. MeUndies is my favorite underwear. I own 4 pairs now, and I love them. I truly do. And also, MeUndies is the perfect holiday gift. You can do matching sets for couples, families, or even friend groups. Knock out all your holiday gifting needs today with MeUndies. To get exclusive holiday deals up to 50% off, go to MeUndies.com/SoBad and enter promo code SOBAD, SOBAD. That's MeUndies.com/SoBad, promo code SOBAD for up to 50% off. Howdy, folks. Welcome to an all-new episode of So Bad It's Good. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Thursday episode. We are doing a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap of this week's episode, the second installment of the Below Deck Down Under crossover. And my God, part of me is like, damn, I almost wish this show wasn't this good, so I could rant and rave in a negative way about it, but I have so many positive things to say. Now we're gonna have a blast doing this, and we are going to talk about the intricacies and the people that are making some really weird moves. But overall, it is just like this beautiful symphony of pain and laughter, and the way that these ladies fight. I mean, it's like I'm saying the same shit every week, and I feel that. I just watched the OC reunion part 1 that you're going to see tonight. And whereas I did think it was better than some of the last half of the season's episodes, there was still this constant reminder of that the way that these ladies engage with each other, it's at the same level of drama and maybe even more intense, but it's not fun to watch. You just kind of been like, damn, this is just dark. It's negative. It's horrible. I mean, Tamra's wild, man. I'll wait for Friday for the recap to go into my thoughts. I don't want to ruin anything for you, but I have a lot of thoughts. Also, tonight I did watch the season premiere of Southern Charm, which is going to be out in a couple of weeks, and I'm happy to report I liked it. It's the same kind of winning formula that Southern Charm has at its best. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see Craig after the breakup. Madison's pregnant. I got to watch it with Rebecca, who's pregnant too, and she kept just going like, yep, yep, I'm the same way. Yep, pregnant. So I did enjoy the season premiere of Southern Charm, so I can't wait for you guys to watch that. Now, we're going to do Salt Lake, but I want to go a little bit more into the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills trailer. I got to talk about it a little bit with Rebecca yesterday on this, and by the way, you guys, at this point, I don't think anybody would argue with me. Rebecca should just take over the podcast. She is so good. She's killing it. She was very nervous about negative comments, and there just seemed to be so many positive ones. So thank you so much for anybody that took a second to write something nice. That really made her feel good. It made me feel good. And I have to say, it reminds me, I mean, first off, of why I like to podcast with other people, because it's just so much easier. But also, when you get to podcast with somebody that you truly get to laugh with every day, and you get to hop on a mic and talk about a show that you just watched for 2 hours, i.e. Dancing with the Stars. It's really, really fun. And it's just so much fun. So hopefully this has gone so well that I think Rebecca is going to keep agreeing to come back. Yeah, that's it. That's really exciting for me. It makes things so much easier. Let's see. I did Jeff Lewis today. You can find that on the Sirius XM app. You can listen to episodes at any time. I said a bunch of stupid shit on there, as I usually do. And the thing is, I set myself up for it. I offer information that in no way I should offer. And then you kind of feel so comfortable, and you think you're like, hey, we're being goofy here. And then you say something so dumb that you're just haunted by it. Also, I do notice every time I'm on Jeff, I get nervous the night before, and I don't, even if I'm in bed at a decent time, I can't fall asleep because I'm just amped. I'm just ready to like wake up and go do radio because I geek out about that shit. And so I got about 4.5 hours sleep last night, and I guess that's kind of training for having a baby in a little bit. I was like, okay, But the truth of the matter is, it scares the shit out of me because I'm not good without sleep. I have walked around like a zombie all day. I finally accidentally took a nap when I rewatched Salt Lake City this afternoon. And then I took like a 40-minute nap, which is really not very common for me. And I woke up like a zombie. I was like, where am I? Where am I? It was wild, you guys. Anywho, I finally got my sea legs about me, and I'm ready to work with you throughout the evening tonight to get this very important work done. Also, I signed the contract today, so I think I can announce this to you. I will be working for Bravo Digital at BravoCon on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of BravoCon. Next weekend, I will be interviewing Bravo celebrities, and you should be able to stream these interviews on Peacock. I don't think I'm allowed to say who all I'm speaking to, but it's quite a few Bravo celebrities, and they'll be like 10-minute interviews, and I couldn't be more excited to represent Bravo and hopefully to make you guys proud and to represent So Bad It's Good. And I mean, I couldn't tell you, I'm just so excited for BravoCon next week. And anybody that's going, if you're not going, don't worry. I will keep you up to date. I will try to give you all the information of anything that you miss. And don't worry, I'm going to be your representative. I'm going to try to make you proud. So if you can't come, don't feel like you're missing out because I will try to walk you through everything. Meditz is going to come with me, and I'm just really excited. I'm excited to be able to work officially for Bravo. That I couldn't be more excited about that. And I'm just excited for whatever comes our way. And just to see all of you guys, anybody that's coming, I hope I get to talk to you guys. And I know, like, I was reading people and they were like really excited to see Bravo celebrities. And there's something so beautiful about that, right? Like, because it really does mean something to people. But for me personally, I want to meet you guys. Like, I want to be able to have conversations. And that's why, once again, I do want to promote. We're doing a meetup in conjunction with the Pink Shade podcast with Mary Payne Gilbert on Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at the Hard Rock Cafe. We tried to get a Rainforest Cafe and we couldn't do it, but we got the Hard Rock Cafe and the space is beautiful. And it's going to be right before Amy Phillips' Cabaret, which me and Meditz will be going to that evening as well on Saturday night. But I do want to promote Amy Phillips's Cabaret as well, because it's not just Saturday nights. And I'm telling you, if you're looking for something fun to do after the day's events of BravoCon, I highly recommend Amy Phillips' Cabaret. I got to see it last time, and it's just awesome. She is just such an amazing performer. So she is doing this on, I believe, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. She's doing it all 3 nights. And if you can, you've got to go check out her performance. You can get tickets. Just look at like Amy Phillips Hard Rock Cafe. I'll try to remember. Sandra, if you're listening, remind me to put on my Instagram stories. First off, how to get tickets to Amy Phillips Cabaret show. And then second off, how to sign up for our meetup, because it's free to go, but we're just asking you that you put your information in this Eventbrite link, and that way we don't overfill the venue. And I think we're getting some pretty good numbers so far, but I just want to make sure everybody that wants to come can come and party with us. And it's a great thing to kick off the evening. Like, either stay and watch the Amy Phillips show with us, or go about your night and get into trouble. And then we'll all meet back up at like 2 a.m. at some casino and just be like, let's lose all our money together. How about that? Can we do that? I should speak softly so Rebecca doesn't hear me. Lose some of your money that you let me gamble for you. You know, I love Wheel of Fortune slots. If you guys listen to the show long enough, when I go to Vegas, Wheel of Fortune slots, that's like the siren that calls to me. I was in Vegas a couple months ago with this influencer event that I got invited to, which was insane. It's this interior drink that is awesome, and got to go to this. And me and Doug Buden, we were just playing Wheel of Fortune slots, and then everybody went to bed, and I snuck down and played more Wheel of Fortune slots, and I actually won. I won a couple $100, you guys. I don't want to brag, but like that's baller money, a couple $100. So And I have that in cash still. So I'm just going to take it back with me to Vegas, and I'm going to try to lose it in the first hour that I'm in Vegas. So very exciting. But we have so many podcasters going. I was texting with Ronnie the other day. Ben and Ronnie from Watch What Crappens are going to be there. They're going to be doing the Next Gen NYC panel on Sunday. I believe it's the last panel of BravoCon. And this thing is going to be so exciting. And Ben and Ronnie are just so damn awesome. And this is... They deserve it all. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to see our friend Danny Pellegrino. He texted the other day to congratulate us on the baby, and I need to get tons of advice from Danny Pellegrino because he and his husband, they are new fathers, and we got Courtney and Summer Mary from Two Judgy Girls going. We got Mary Payne Gilbert going. I mean, there are so many amazing content creators that I think I'm just excited to hang out with as well. And this thing is only 3 days, and I kind of wish it was like a week. I kind of wish we just all rented the summer house cabin, the summer house, and just did like a reality show for 3 months, all of us, just in one house, and it's a content house. So yeah, I'm just really, as you can tell, very, very excited. So I got to pack this weekend, and I got to try. Rebecca wants me to go out and try to get new clothes, and that always worries me. Were you like, I remember going back to school shopping. Like, I'm not much of a shopper, but I would go back to school shopping with my mom, and it was always horrible because I have like thick thighs. Yeah, thick thighs save lives. That's what you're always told in a positive way, but I've always hated my thick thighs and my big muscular calves. And I would always hate trying on jeans. Oh, you guys. And then if you felt like, oh, I'm doing pretty good, I feel good with my weight and stuff, and you'd put on a pair of jeans and you would immediately get, they'd just get tight around the calf immediately, and you'd be like, oh no. I've never gotten over that. I have never gotten over that. And when I used to act in projects, I always dreaded doing costume fittings and like wardrobe fittings because I would always over-explain myself like I'm doing now of like, well, you got to understand, I have big thighs, so just be prepared for my big thighs. You got to be prepared. Be prepared for and the costume people would be like, no, we got it. We're professionals. Oh, gosh. I just hope I don't give any of my neuroses to my daughter, and I think it's probably already in her DNA, this poor girl. I've got to learn how to act confident within like 4 more months. Also, this is crazy, you guys. Kristen Doute texted me tonight. She found out we were pregnant, and Kaya, their daughter, is 5 months old, and she was like, we're going to give you all the advice. We're going to give you everything that you need and everything that you don't need for your baby registry. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, congrats on surviving the 3rd season of The Valley. Oh my God. We're going to be, God, think about that. 2026. So we got Southern Charm coming up. We got Beverly Hills coming up. We are like inundated with Bravo. So we'll probably doing recaps of all that crap. Not all that crap, all of that great art. And then in the new year, we're going to have a new season of The Valley, and we'll be recapping that. S71, our distributor, I was talking to them today, and I don't really pay too close attention to like numbers or chart position or any of that stuff that I'm supposed to be obsessed with. And I kind of just keep my head down and work and just talk. And because I'm like, oh, I can do this fairly decent. And I don't pay attention to all that other stuff. And I know that's so bad of me. But it turns out we are up from last year at this point. We're up 20%. Isn't that insane? We're up 20% in terms of listeners or people that watch us on YouTube, which, I just think that's insane and in this amazing way, because I always feel like the sky is falling. So thank you to anybody with us today. As always, I always got to be sentimental and weird about it. So sorry if I made it weird, but my God, thank you so much for allowing a grown man to shout about shows that he shouldn't be allowed to shout about. So yeah. Also, Dancing with the Stars. This was fun today. We found out that Flavor Flav, who I think was universally roasted for his judging on Dancing with the Stars, even though I do love Flavor Flav, he admitted that on Alex Earl, he gave a 9 as the other judges gave 3 10s. And he said that he screwed up, is that you have to lock it into a computer before you get your paddle. And he accidentally hit 9. And then he told the production that he hit 9 accidentally. And they said, sorry, that's locked in. He would have given Alex Earl a 10. So I don't know if we're to trust Flavor Flav, but since Flavor made a mistake, Alex Earl would have gotten a perfect score last night, and Flavor screwed it up for Alex Earl. So, yeah, good stuff. So we take 2 commercial breaks. We're going to take one right now. We'll come back. We'll do Beverly Hills. Then we'll do another commercial break. And then it'll be commercial free for the entire Salt Lake City recap. So let's get going. We are talking about our friends over at MeUndies. MeUndies is my favorite underwear. I own 4 pairs now, and I love them. I truly do. And also, MeUndies is the perfect holiday gift. You can do matching sets for couples, families, or even friend groups. There's something weirdly magical about matching outfits during the holidays. And MeUndies has taken that to the next level with their Match Me collection. Whether it's matching undies with your partner, coordinating PJs for the family photo, or getting festive with your friend group, MeUndies makes it fun, easy, and ridiculously cozy. Their holiday prints are adorable, their fabric is next level soft, and the best part, you'll actually want to be caught in matching loungewear all season long. MeUndies is the go-to for unbelievably soft underwear and loungewear made from ultra modal. That's fancy speak for cloud-level comfort. We're talking over 30 million pairs sold, 90,000 5-star reviews, and a problem-free philosophy. That means if you don't love your first pair, it is on them. So, knock out all your holiday gifting needs today with MeUndies. To get exclusive holiday deals up to 50% off, go to MeUndies.com/SoBad and enter promo code SOBAD, SOBAD. That's MeUndies.com/SoBad, promo code SOBAD for up to 50% off. Okay, so Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the next season is going to premiere on December 4th. It is season 15. Even though it feels like it should be season 30, it is only season 15. Now, a lot of people seem like they were disappointed in this trailer. Rebecca said she was like, whatever. A lot of my friends said they were like, whatever. And I think I might be one of the only people that I was like, well, didn't look nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Like, honestly, I did not mind this trailer. I thought the trailer was weird in the sense that it had an emphasis on the trips that they were taking. Like, we're in Sedona, we're in Florence. And I'm like, I don't care where you are, as long as you have good interactions and good relationships. Doesn't mean like good relationships in that we all get along, but good relationships where I believe in the relationships between these women, right? You need to believe in friendship. The reason that I find it interesting that Doute is still here is because obviously Doute is dealing with losing PK. I mean, how do you deal with losing PK? I'm PK Kemsley. How dare you lose me? I'm a hot commodity on the streets of Beverly Hills. So she's dealing with that. She's also dealing with not being as close to Kyle. We've seen that being going down for 2 seasons. And so it's almost interesting to see if Doute can find her voice. And when anybody tries to find their voice, and they usually are not great at that, it's a bumpy ride. And so I expect some entertainment out of that. Also, Sutton, she's somebody that is easy to not gang up on, but it's easy to fight with Sutton because Sutton, she's not good with her words. She can't really fight in a very clear way. So even though she is very wealthy, people find it seems like Sutton doesn't get a lot of respect from the other ladies. The other thing that I found exciting about this trailer was that we finally get to see Erica Jane with a dude. Yeah, I'm going to have sex on camera. It's me, Erica Jane. I find that exciting. Of course, I already loved Rachel Zoe from the Rachel Zoe Project, so I'm curious to see what she brings. And also, these ladies, it's always interesting to have somebody that has a career outside of this because they already jumped that position of having to fight for respect. Rachel Zoe will already have respect from most of these women, and we have a new cast member. You know, this will be very mysterious for us, and in true Bravo fashion, this was great because it was like, welcome to Bravo, because I think it was Bravo and Cocktails already found her mugshot. I'm like, yeah, man, you're in the jungle now, baby. You're going to die. We're going to find your mugshot. This character, her name is Amanda Francis, you guys, and her bio reads, she is a world-renowned thought leader on financial empowerment for women. Am I a thought leader on anything? Through her best-selling book, Rich as Fuck, and She Rises. She has 2 books. Stacey Rush would love the And She Rises book. Oh, no, sorry. Rich as Fuck and the And She Rises podcast. numerous popular digital courses, and her highly engaging online presence. I've never heard of Amanda Frances before, and that doesn't mean anything because, I find out about new people every day. Amanda empowers women to design lives and businesses they love, blending her background in blending her background in ministry and mental health counseling. Ministry, move over Mary Cosby, with practical advice and spiritual and energetic principles. Wow, that is a lot of gobbledygook. Amanda has built a thriving self-made business from the ground up. She taught herself to build her first website while putting herself through graduate school, and over the past decade, that vision has grown into Amanda Frances Inc., an 8-figure global brand with clients and students in 196 countries. Her mission has always been to get the power of money into the hands of good-hearted women who are here to change the world. Today, she's doing just that. Originally from Sand Springs, Oklahoma, Amanda now resides in Los Angeles with her fiancé and 4 children. So that is, that's quite a resume. Amanda Frances. And then it was just great. Like, I think about 12 hours after that trailer dropped, her mugshot dropped. And I was like, wow, pretty quick. Let's see. I'm trying to find out more about, okay, here we go. Oh no, sorry. I pulled up a mugshot of another Amanda Frances. Okay. Yeah. Her mugshot is Amanda Frances McKinney. This is from March 12th of 2016. Her date of birth is September 12th, 1985. So yeah. So she was arrested, 10 years ago. I'm on a Reddit thread right now. Wow, Reddit actually is useful. This is interesting. They really already have done a deep dive. This is from the Real Housewives page, and it says her website is unclear if she's talking about the courses business or another business. She says that her business continued to grow during 2020 and she hit the $5 million mark. Apparently, she said a prayer of, God, if you help me to make more money, I promise I would help other women do the same. And this is the course breakdown, some of the costs for her courses. For $2,999 for her foundation course, for $777 is an 8-day online course. For $1,555 is for a course on pricing and how to ask for money for your services. I'm going to charge you $1,600 to teach you how to ask for money. There's a course called Turning Shit into Gold for $1,222. A course on how to make your own course for $1,999. And a monthly membership of $179.99. So for a monthly membership, and you get some things, and you also get an audio message every month. Wow, this is wild. Move over Teddy Mellencamp with All In. Remember All In? You thought that was kind of, this is a whole new level. So obviously, if the ladies play it right, this is going to be an easy person to go up against. And we always love a mystery. And I always worry about people with businesses that are kind of a little hazy in terms of what they actually are, because it means you will be questioned about these. But as any good housewife will tell you, all you have to do is just commit to a bit, lie, keep your head down and get through it. You never have to truly make anybody understand. You never have to give clear information. We still don't know about Lisa Barlow's lawsuits. We don't know about what's going on in Bronwyn's sealed records. You don't ever have to make it clear with the audience, and that can be so frustrating. We will never find out what the deal with Katie Janela was on OC. We'll never understand what happened with Gretchen, what happened with Tamara. I truly believe we will get out of this season of OC and we will be none the wiser to anything that went down. So Amanda Frances, today on So Bad It's Good, we speak your name. I am excited to watch you. So in this trailer, it starts with Bose talking to like Kyle and the lady saying, look, I'm a girl's girl, but in order to be friends, I want to know the information so that I can also be helpful. And Kyle's like, why don't you ask what you really want to ask? And Rachel Zoe's like, zoinks? And Sutton's like, what? And Kyle goes, well, I could go Brad. I could go Angelina. And everybody's like, woo! And Erica's like, yeah, bisexual. I love it. It's still not a clear answer. Like, it's still, I could go Brad or I could go Angelina. Like, how about, like, yeah, you picked like two of the most beautiful people in the world. But what would you prefer? Let's just go, what would you prefer in the year 2025? So they hit us right out of the gate with Kyle's finally going to breadcrumb us a little bit more about her sexuality. And by the way, and I know anybody's sexuality is not our business, but sometimes you make it our business when you put it on reality television and you play like a murder mystery game with your own sexuality. And then it's like this season on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And we see the ladies dancing. We see fancy cars, fancy houses. Jennifer Tilly is back. We see Bose asking Kyle, I have to know what you want. And Kyle goes, someone who likes sex. Yeah. And then we see Erica and the ladies are like, is this your man friend? And then we see the Spencer Pratt's bodyguard or Heidi Montag's bodyguard. He has like, the white beard and they're like, is this your man friend? And Erica's like, yeah. Yeah. And Kyle's like, that's a hard lunch. And then ladies bumping up their fancy purses together. And Doute's like, this is so Beverly Hills. Boop, 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 boop. And then Rachel Zoe in a shopping store saying, I 100% have to own this. My name's Rachel Zoe. You may or may not remember me from Bravo because I've lived here before. And then Rachel Zoe in like a boat going, hot girl summer. And then we see the Hamptons. Chiron pops up and they're all dancing. And then we see a Sedona Chiron pop up and they're in Sedona. And one of the ladies is saying, girl summer adventure style. And then all of a sudden the preview stops and we hear heavy breathing of like, and we see jeweled hands on like a dirty mountain and you just hear heavy breathing. And it's like a cowboy hat. It looks like Young Guns too. And it's Jennifer Tilly. And then all of a sudden we see the Chiron that says Italy, Florence. And Kyle's like, Florence. And they're in Florence, you guys. And this guy's like, welcome to Villa Bibiani. Welcome. You have your own private sauna. He's saying sauna, but he goes, sauna. You have your own private sauna. Sauna. You have your own private sauna. And Doute's like, ooh. And then we see some ladies singing opera, and all the ladies are clapping. And then Sutton's like, well, I want to do a toast to Amanda, our new friend. And we see Amanda Francis. And then Bose turns to Sutton and goes, hey, Rachel's a new friend too. And Sutton's like, well, she's been here a minute, though. And then Amanda goes, I'm new. Woo! And then Denise Richards pops up, and Denise Richards says, how can you release pictures of your wife naked? And Erica Jane does when Erica's like doing like her hard-hitting news investigative reporter. Aren't you afraid? She doesn't move her head. She's like being like stillness for the camera. Are you afraid, Denise? Are you afraid? And Denise goes, yeah, very. Which is like, that's no laughing matter. Aaron Pfeiffer's really is coming off like a very mentally unstable person. And then we see a scene of Mauricio with Doute on a lover's lunch. No, a friend's lunch. And Doute's like, he's never texted me once asking to see the kids. And Mauricio's like, I think I'm just hearing different stories. I'm picturing you without your blouse on right now. And then Rachel Zoe saying, we are moving forward and getting divorced. He's talking to her kids with Roger, her ex-husband. And the kids are like, you're not in love with him anymore? And then Rachel's hugging her son. We see Bose in some sort of medical procedure and talking to a doctor saying it's not great news, unfortunately. And it looks like Bose steps up and is crying. And then a scene with Erica Jane and Kyle, and Erica Jane going, you need to get out there and do whatever makes you happy, even if it's Morgan Wade. Hi, it's me, Morgan. And then we see Mauricio once again. I feel like this is deja vu, wiping a tear away from Kyle's eye. And Kyle going, I'm trying. Love Bean, I don't like when you cry, Love Bean. I don't like. And then Amanda posing in a bathtub with a new cast member with $100 bills. And Erica's like, something's off with this girl. Which you got to trust Erica Jane. She knows a grifter when she smells a grifter. And Bose saying to Amanda, you are not being clear about your life. And then I think this is Amanda's husband, and Amanda's husband says she's intimidated. And Amanda says, because I'm young and successful and I'm not financially dependent on a man, and she outsourced her financial well-being to a man, and it didn't go well. And by the way, I'm like, I think they're talking about Erica, but honestly, it could be a lot of these ladies, you know? And then Kathy Hilton pops up and goes, read the room and know your place. Can you imagine if Kathy Hilton said, read the room? I thought you were Kyle. Read the room, Kyle. And then Kyle going, do you remember? And Doute goes, oh, I can remember. And then Rachel Zoe talking to Doute saying, I think she's fake. I think she plays both sides. And then Kyle in another scene going, you're lying. And you know what doesn't lie? The cameras. And she has this weird, crazy psycho smile. Poor Kyle. She's like, ah. But the cameras don't lie, but people try to lie to the cameras, and they try to hide things all the time. And I think Kyle's been guilty of that a couple times in these last couple of seasons. And then Doute saying, the days of me sitting there grinning and bearing it, swallowing it and taking it, those days are fucking over. And Sutton yelling at Jennifer Tilly going, please stop. And Jennifer Tilly's like, that's what? I forgot how to do Jennifer Tilly. That's why Garcelle left, because it's always about Sutton. Yeah. And then another scene with, this looks like Florence because they're eating gelato. It's like Kyle, Doute, and Erica Jane. And Erica's like, I am interjected because this is a three-way thing. And Doute's like, Erica, I'm not doing this. And Erica Jane going, I'm not going to stop talking, Doute. And Doute's like, let's go, girls. And Erica's like, I'm not going anywhere. And Doute's like, I am, as she's licking her gelato. And Erica Jane goes, oh no, Doute says, go fuck yourselves. And then Rachel Zoe with her head in her hand saying, I wanted a hot girl summer, and I'm not having one at all. And so the new season premieres December 4th on Bravo. We will be recapping it, of course, on So Bad It's Good. But yeah, that looked pretty good, right? I mean, that looked pretty good. A grown man losing his mind doing weird voices, but it sounded good, right? I think there's a lot of stuff to hang our hats on. So after this commercial break, we'll be back with Salt Lake City. Okay, so this is Season 6, Episode 8, and this is entitled Loose Lips Sink Friendships. Doing a lot with that title, but we get it. Loose links, yeah, sink friendships, yeah. Sink instead of sink ships, sink, yeah, we got it. Okay, and the description says, Heather's yacht trip takes a stormy turn when Bronwyn learns Lisa has been spreading rumors about Todd farting anonymously with secret women. Oh my God, Todd. I mean, what? Todd. This man is just trying to collect Starbucks mugs from across the world, and now he's shown that he is a very gruff person that seems very unloving. And then also he is now branded not only as a philanderer, but also somebody with the worst gas known to man. And by the way, the obsession with farting on Salt Lake City, as somebody that still finds, because I'm like a boy at heart, farting very funny, it is hysterical to me that Mary Cosby had a whole episode about her farting, and she's very offended that Angie K kept joking to her about it. But now that we find out Todd, I love that we were all like, what's worse is the farting rather than the cheating. It was just like, oh, God, because it's that little detail. It's always the specificity. I've always said that from the very beginning. It's, when you can say something, it's great. But when you can say something with specificity, it makes it so real. You're there. Like, you can smell Todd's musty, grumpy farts. just like, and we said yesterday, it's like sometimes Todd's a very wealthy man. And sometimes I just imagine I've never had extreme wealth, but if I did, would I just feel free to fart anywhere? Just like, hey, you have to deal with it. What are you going to do? I'm rich. I'll fart wherever I want. It is my prerogative. And I loved how Bronwyn heard this and was like, oh my God, it must be Todd. He does have a farting problem. It's wild. And for Lisa Barlow once again to be caught in saying, talking smack. And it's like every time you want to feel bad for Lisa Barlow, she really makes it so tough on herself and the audience to feel empathy and sympathy for her for more than 5 minutes because you find out something else awful that she said about something. And the whole thing I kept thinking was, if this was a real thing, why tell this to Angie K? If you cared about Bronwyn one iota, why didn't you go to Bronwyn and say, hey, Todd made out with my friend and was farting the whole time? Or just do the made out with my friend. That would be something you would think you would warn your friend about. It doesn't even have to be a best friend, but just your friend, and especially a castmate. You don't want to think, but it's just wild that this wasn't even, we'll get into it. We'll get into that scene when we get there, right? So we started off as always, and Meredith is like, previously on the Real Housewives. By the way, also, shout out to Meredith Marks. She finally woke up this episode. Thank you, Meredith. You finally came to life in one of the final scenes of this episode. And also, as an artist, I have to relearn how to do a Meredith Marks because my impression, she is now talking very succinctly. It's like wild. She was spitting out lines very staccato-like. And I was like, whoa, this is called range. Lady Gaga could never Meredith. So previous scenes, we see him get the yacht. We see them all being horny for Captain Jason as he tells him he's going to get all these ladies wet. I'm going to get you in the water, And then Angie K vomiting into the ocean. Also, this week's episode, we get Brittany Bateman, allegedly vomiting over the side of the boat. And these ladies have given me the courage, and I don't know if you feel the same way, is that they've given me the courage to someday vomit on camera, But we saw all of Angie K's insides. And then we had Brittany talking to Bronwyn about like the grand theft thing and the sealing of the records, and Bronwyn saying none of it was true. And we had that scene that was brilliant of Bronwyn saying, oh, there's been some nasty things that have come out in the press. And Lisa's like, that doesn't sound like anyone here would do that. That's definitely not me. I'll tell you that much. Nobody would do that. We are very peaceful as a society of women. And then Meredith throwing a glass of water on Brittany after Meredith got very offended that Brittany told Bronwyn that she had seizures, and Bronwyn shouldn't. That was pretty shady of Bronwyn to take something personal and tell Meredith in front of everybody. I do understand what Brittany was saying. It's just that Meredith does sometimes go from 0 to 100, and that's why we love her. Like, I don't want Meredith to be ashamed of that. Meredith sometimes is like she's like a day sleeper, and then you got to shake the shit out of her and wake her up. And then she's the incredible Meredith. She turns green. She starts stomping on people of like, Meredith smash. And remember, that's when we found out Meredith had, she could water bend because Brittany threw water on her and water bended it. She was able to prove, like, God, wouldn't you love to see Meredith as a character in those Avatar films or something? And remember, Below Deck Down Under, they're going to do 3 episodes of the flip side of this experience when their season starts airing. And I'm sure we'll hear more about that at BravoCon. Now, at the end of last week's episode, Heather Gay very bravely or drunkenly called out Lisa saying, I think you're the source of all of the bad stuff. And Lisa's like, I am not the source of anything. And then Lisa was crying and yelling and clapping and crying and yelling. And Heather's like chasing her downstairs as Lisa's on the phone with John. I never done anything to these ladies. And then we ended it with her just in this beautiful, the beautiful inflatable dock off the boat. And it's like all these fishies, or like, this is like the beginning of Little Mermaid. It's all blue and Lisa's just crying on this inflatable yacht. And that's where we start the episode, folks. And I have to say, I know it's a small thing, but I can't tell you how excited I get when all of a sudden we see like the ocean and we hear the choral music go, oh, and then the Below Deck Down Under sign pops up. And then it goes down in the water, and then we hear more choral music go, oh, and then it says The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You feel like you're watching like the fucking Marvel The Avengers or something. It's like the crossover event. I need more crossover events. What else can we cross over? Put your peanut butter in my chocolate. My God. We open up, we see the yacht. The crew members are getting busy with their day. We see the chief stew, Daisy Kelleher, chopping up some veggies, it looks like. Chef Ben is in the kitchen working the griddle. We see Meredith and Lisa sleep in beds, just passed out. And then all of a sudden we're on the dock. And we see that Bronwyn has a comforter out there, and she's just laying out there in the sun with an eye mask on. And it's just silence all of a sudden. And then we hear the squeegee of one of the deck crew, squeegee in the windows, and one of the other guys scrubbing the table. And Bronwyn wakes up, and she's in these like kind of, Doute's room at Buca de Beppo, lemon PJs. And she's like, where am I? As she lifts up her face mask and realizes she's asleep on the dock of a super yacht. She just looks misery. It looks like she's miserable. And the crew guy's like, she's awake. She's awake now. She's awake. And Bronwyn's like, hi, hey, everybody. It's me, Bronwyn. By the way, it probably would be good for Bronwyn to sleep in open air back at home because of Todd's farting problem. And Bronwyn's like, good morning. Have you seen any? Her voice is all froggy. Have you seen anybody else yet? And they're like, no. Okay, am I in your way? And they're like, no, not at all. I love the crew decks on these super yachts. They have to agree with everything that you say. They have to get you anything that you need. And even if you have the most I've watched pretty much every season of Below Deck. They have to say yes to everything. They have to act like, even if you're the most miserable person on the planet, which Bronwyn is not, they have to act like you are the most exciting person that they've ever met in their lives. And Bronwyn's like, well, pretend you didn't see me either then. And the guy's like, I do love your setup. Fantastic. When really they're thinking, what are you, an idiot? You're sleeping on the deck? And he's like, and I like your lemon PJs. And she's like, it was super fantastic at 3 a.m. when it started raining. That was special. The lady's like, would you like to drink something? Water, coffee? And she's like, yes, can I have some water and a Dr. Pepper? I know that's weird, but yes. I told you, how many times did I tell you guys a couple episodes ago? Bronwyn said Dr. Pepper twice in an episode, a couple episodes ago, and now she says Dr. Pepper. Yes, she might love Dr. Pepper, but I'm telling you, we will see a Bronwyn Dr. Pepper ad in the next 3 months. So Bad It's Good is sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, we are coming up on the time change again. And as seasons change, days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for so many of us. This November, BetterHelp is encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you are there. Just as it can take a little courage to send that message or grab a coffee with someone you haven't seen in a while, reaching out for therapy, that can feel difficult too. Trust me, I've been there many times, but I can tell you that it is worth it. And it almost always leaves people wondering, why didn't I do this sooner, right? So go connect with somebody. It's something that I have to remind myself to do and not just be podcasting all the time. To take these moments to reach out to somebody, to talk to a friend, to talk to a therapist. And BetterHelp is a great place to start. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means that they are typically getting it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to a different therapist at any time from their tailored recommendations. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is one of the world's largest online therapy platforms. They've served over 5 million people globally, and it works. With an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. So Bad It's Good listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp by using BetterHelp.com/SoBad. That's BetterHelp.com/SoBad. Hands down, I am piss on my grave if I'm not telling you the truth. You don't say Dr. Pepper this many times and not expect an endorsement. Lisa Barlow, watch out, man. Bronwyn's coming for your game. So more of the crew decking, sweeping and all this stuff. And Heather's waking up and Whitney's coming out freshly showered. Good morning. You look beautiful. And Heather's like, I'm jittery and kind of hungover. I think. And when he's like, yeah, we drink a lot, Heather. And Heather goes, what? Heather, by the way, is wearing these like little mini glasses, which I kind of like the mini glasses because we're so used to the Angie K windshield glasses that covers the entire body. And she's wearing these teeny tiny glasses. And I just thought, how hysterical would it be if all of a sudden Heather woke up and we have another black eye? He's like, how did I get this black eye? It's happening again. Oh no, what happened last night? Because it just reminds me of that episode from a couple seasons back with Jen Shaw when he was like, what happened last night? And she takes off the glasses and it's a huge black eye, which is still a mystery. Remember, folks, we never have to answer for any mystery ever. You can keep mysteries alive forever. And when he's like, you were a baller last night, Heather. You were a baller. And Heather's like, the thing with Lisa is just, she's like our good friend. I don't want her to like look at our friendships like it's a scorecard, count our money, know all of our dirty deeds, all the skeletons in our closet. And they're like, if she's a friend, be a friend. And when he's like, you were down on that pad in the water for a long time with her. And Heather's like, yeah, I kept saying, listen, this is where we're at. Like, but she just said I didn't do it. And we flash back to the night before where Lisa's like, I'm going home. And Heather's like, you're not fucking going home. I'm going home. I am. I'm going home. Don't you ever ask me to admit something I never would do. And Heather's like, I love Heather still committing. She's like, I think you're the source of the dirt. But Heather's like, but it's okay. It's great though. I love you. And Heather goes, I am not the source. And Heather's like, I think you feed it. And you keep your hands clean. Yeah, but I think we need to get even more specific with these things. Is that like, I think a lot of information comes to you, like it comes to all of these ladies, but I think Lisa actually then uses the information. It's not that she's the source. It's just, she's like a conduit. She's like somebody that, never probably the original source. She's not getting her hands dirty that way, but she gets this information and she uses it. A lot of Tamara does this as well, I believe. And Lisa's like, I would never fucking do that. How would I fucking know this? How would I fucking know? And Heather's like, because everyone tells you fucking everything. You just admitted to that 1 minute ago. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not the one that leaks it. I've never leaked stuff. She's like, I've always been sure I've never leaked stuff. And she goes, but why is it that I am blamed for everything? And Heather goes, because if I have a question about anyone or anything, I go to you. And I don't know why you're shying away from that. And then they're staring at each other and Lisa cries, are you fucking kidding me? I work so hard. What does how hard you work have to do with anything? I mean, I work hard. You guys listening or watching work hard. We all work. Well, there's a lot of people that are lazy SOBs, but the most of us, we all work hard. So what is like, I work so hard? What does that have to do with anything? And it's in the darkness, so we can't tell if these are real tears or not, but it sounds like real tears, right? And back in a talking head, Heather goes, all she had to do was admit it. Or say she was sorry for things she'd done in the past, or that she was going to make efforts moving forward, but she refused to even be honest. And that definitely changed our dynamic. But that's why these ladies are great. It probably changed their dynamic for like 6 hours. Heather tells Whitney, I hope our friendship can withstand me calling her out on it, but I don't know if it will. Yeah. Me saying that she's an untrustworthy person that we can't give any information to. I hope our friendship withstands that. Heather is saying she wants to give them both space to recover. And then she says she wants to assess the damage to their friendship. And when he goes, what do you do when someone, we know they're doing it, but we'll just deny it? And Heather goes, keep score on every single thing in our lives? Yeah, and then just will deny. Like, what do you do at that point? And Heather goes, I think you just reframe the friendship and you never will really be that close because you can't trust them. And this is what I said yesterday. If you listen to that episode of Dancing with the Stars, I said, Whitney's very interesting because she's, getting closer with Heather again, but we don't see Whitney in like kind of other conversations with other women. And not that she's complaining about that or other people are pointing that out, but I do think it's interesting is that all these other ladies are kind of breaking off into different groups and Whitney's with Heather, but we don't see Whitney kind of going beyond Heather. And I find that interesting. Anyways, we flash over to Meredith and Lisa's room. And Meredith, I mean, this is an overhead shot of their bed. And Meredith, her sleep mask is off, and she still just looks dead to the world. And Lisa's, on her phone. You can see the light of her phone like blasting into her face. So she's probably just receiving DMs about the ladies or something. And Lisa's just monologuing. I literally learned a lot last night about who people are, and it's fucking ugly. Nobody normal would have someone say, admit it. That's not questions. That's not friendship. That's fucking bullshit. And Lisa in a talking head says, I hope everyone wakes up and is like, I feel like shit because I was awful to my friends and we can move on. And Lisa keeps monologuing. The fact that no one at this point can be like, Lisa would never fucking do that. Why are you saying that? That's fucked up. And then Meredith finally was like, what do you think I said, Lisa? I didn't use your words because I don't speak like you. I don't speak stupid, but I gave the same message. And Lisa's like, it's so different, a different level of support. And Meredith's like, don't tell me I don't support you. I'm sitting here trying. I am the only one trying for you. And Lisa's like, I know, and thank you. And Meredith's like, that makes me angry. It hurts me, Lisa. It does. So already a great day. Bronwyn is getting her Dr. Pepper from Daisy Kelleher. And Bronwyn's like, this wasn't my best idea. Sleep out here. In a talking head, she goes, I slept on the deck last night because things aren't good with Brittany and me. We are going to behave today, she tells Daisy. We are not going to be the guests from hell, I promise. And Daisy's like, you're so welcome. I can't do a Daisy voice, so I just do the same voice I do for Brock, even though it doesn't sound like Brock from the Valley either. Daisy does seem a little rattled, though, by these women. Bronwyn says, Brittany's mad at me for telling everybody what she said when we went shopping, and I'm irritated with her for running her mouth in general. and I'm irritated with Brittany for existing. And then we flash back to the night before where Brittany is talking to Bronwyn in the room, and Brittany going, if this is how we're going to sleep, it's going to be really hard for me to sleep. And Bronwyn's like, I'm going to sleep outside. I'm going to go sleep on one of those chairs upstairs. And Brittany's like, yeah, seriously. Yeah. I'll just be in here with my unicorn. Yes, pool chair, shockingly enough, is not the most comfortable bed on this mega yacht that we're on. I like when Bronwyn laughs through her, final, this mega yacht that we're on. So Angie K, remember Angie K was puking her guts out, and she comes out and she's like, she's alive! I feel like I missed out on such a great night. Yeah. It seemed like such a fun night. I will say, Mary Cosby was probably thrilled that she didn't have to be a part of that. But, if I was Angie K, I would feel like I missed out too. Wouldn't you love to see a fight like that up close? I would feel so bummed. But Angie is alive and well. Brittany's coming out there. Whitney's out there. Heather's out there. And they're all sitting down on the deck. And Heather's like, how are you feeling? And Angie's like, I'm a titch off, but I'm good. We're going to have a fun day. And then Lisa comes out. Look who's back from the dead. Hey. And then the music stops because Lisa just popped out and everybody's awkward with Lisa. And it's just awkward silence. And they're all staring at Lisa. And Lisa's just kind of smiling like nothing happened the night before. And Winnie kind of shakes her head like, oh my God. And then Bronwyn's coming out and she's at the table area walking down to mid-deck. And Heather goes to check on breakfast. Angie goes with Heather because she's probably uncomfortable, but she says she needs something in her stomach. And Winnie goes, should I go change into my swimsuit? And so then it's just Brittany and Lisa there by themselves. Everybody left. They can't get the deck door to open up. And they're like, open sesame. And then finally Angie's like, Opa! Opa! And the door opens. And then Brittany is with Lisa and goes, are we okay? Are we good? Are we good? And Lisa's like, I'm totally fine with you. I would tell you if we weren't. And Brittany's like, are you still mad at Heather? I like Brittany. She seems so innocent and she gets probably the most information out of people because she'll ask the direct questions that nobody normally would ask. Are you still mad at Heather? I was hoping, and then Lisa goes, I love Heather. But what happened last night is not okay. I was frustrated. It is not okay. And Brittany's like, the thing that really bugs me. And also, I just want to give a shout out. All of these ladies are wearing the same beautiful necklace, which is their microphone. And I just got to say, I've been watching Bravo long enough when they didn't have this kind of technology to put it on a swanky necklace. And it's like pretty crystal clear audio. So if you notice all the necklaces, they're all wearing the same necklace. Some are gold and some are silver, but they're all microphone necklaces. But Brittany says the thing that really bugs me is that Bronwyn and I were in a pretty good spot. And Bronwyn's downstairs on the deck below and can hear every word that they're saying. Bronwyn's trying to get a little reading done on her book. Does anybody know what book she was reading? I kept trying to find out. I couldn't discover what it was. And Brittany's like me and Bronwyn, we never hung out. And she asked me to go shopping with her for the trip. And Bronwyn's like, I can hear you, Brittany. Oh my God. And Brittany just keeps talking shit. And Brittany's like, ooh, she'll be like, ooh, I'll be nice to Brittany so she'll tell me things. And Lisa goes, yeah, but you've seen her do that before with you. And Brittany's like, yeah, she'll use it against me. And Lisa's like, Brittany, she did it to you before. You are responsible for you. The bottom line is I've never done anything to Bronwyn. She lied about me when it came to the grandparents. All last year, she let people think that I hurt her daughter. And Bronwyn's hearing all of this shit. She asked me to do something and then turned that on me. And Bronwyn downstairs is like, great. Oh. And Brittany goes, wait, Lisa, she asked you to reach out to the family? And Lisa's like, yeah, she asked to meet me with the grandparents. And we see a text message pop up from Bronwyn and Lisa. And Bronwyn says, hi, Gwen and I talked. And if you wouldn't mind reaching out to blanked out name and explaining this came up, G is willing to meet if they are. Sorry to put you in the middle, but I know you offered and maybe the best way to approach them. Heart emoji. And Lisa writing, I'm happy to, 3 exclamation points. And Brittany goes, I did not know that. I thought you were just trying. And then Lisa goes, no, it's in writing. It's in writing. So Lisa already wakes up just stirring shit all over again. Now, Angie K and Mary Cosby go up to Bronwyn on the deck below the other ladies. And Angie's like, this is where you slept? No way. You really slept up here? And Bronwyn's like, yes, but we should move because... this is a teeny tiny little boat and Brittany and Lisa are talking loud shit about me downstairs. So to ensure, those 2 loud mouths are just saying stuff about me all over the place. And Mary seems like, what? What in the world? And Angie goes, Mary and I missed out last night. We need a full update. And we flash back to the night before and we hear Angie K throwing up as Mary Cosby is enjoying a crostini, living her best life. Oh, God, I could watch these ladies forever. Once again, I said we got to do Welcome to Crappy Lake Season 2 with Angie and Mary Cosby, right? And Bronwyn's like, so Brittany, the same shit with Brittany as always, ladies. I said I reached out to her and I said, let's go shopping. She told me that Meredith has seizures and crashes out and screams at her. Then she gets furious with me last night that I threw her under the bus. And then Brittany says, I don't want to sleep with you. And I was like, okay, I don't particularly want to sleep in our room either. There's nowhere else for me to go. You're vomiting. Everyone else is screaming at each other. And Mary Cosby's like, Mary Cosby's like, this is like Cinemax. And Bronwyn's like, you were vomiting for 18 hours, Angie. Oh, God, I love them so much. I will say in Brittany's defense, Bronwyn really did throw her under the bus. There was no need for Bronwyn to throw that out. I'm so glad she did, though, because it provided for great entertainment, but no need. Anyways, Daisy comes up to the ladies. Mary Cosby's like, Daisy! Daisy's like, we've got chia pudding, and this one, Mary, is for you if you want one. It doesn't have berries or nuts. Okay. And everybody's just in love with this kind of service. Bronwyn says, so I'm sitting out here and her and Lisa are on the back deck talking shit about me. And they're like, wow. And yes, they are talking shit. And then Meredith comes out. Hey, how's everyone? How are you feeling, Angie K? And then Heather and Brittany come out in their swimsuits. So they're all sitting around, just gabbing. They're wearing their nausea bands. And then Lisa Barlow comes out again and goes, oh my God, I want bracelets. I want nausea bracelets as well. Brittany comes out. And so all the ladies are here. And Brittany goes, okay, that's one way to make an entrance because nobody reacts when she comes out. And Heather goes, I love the braids, Brittany. And Brittany's like, thank you. I'm making the best of my 80s hair. Jared Osmond's like, make sure you wear the braids on your way back. Oh, man, I love women with braided hair. Ooh, yeah. Heather tells the ladies, let's rally. Today is going to be a fun day. They're going to go out by the Tobago Keys and snorkel and sail and swim and have the tender's going to take them out there. And then tonight, she says, is going to be zombie night. And I love there's no real specification. Zombie night. And I'm like, hell yeah. It would be great if there's somebody on this boat that has the Walking Dead virus and you're going to try not to get bitten tonight. And if you do, you will be a zombie for the rest of your life. Anyways, Angie says, I don't know if the boating life is for me. And Mary Cosby's like, it definitely isn't for you. And then Bronwyn's like, if you are going to be so nice to Ange, Mary Cosby, do you want to be so nice to me and let me come in your room tonight? And Mary Cosby, without hesitation, goes, no. Mary. And Mary goes, that's a crowd. 2 is company. 3 is a crowd. And Bronwyn's like, okay. And Mary's like, sleep with. So she points at Brittany, and Brittany goes, you can still sleep with me. I'm not going to hurt you. And Bronwyn's like, I'm not interested in sleeping in a bed that maybe you brought one of the crew into. That maybe you fucked and sucked with the crew in our bed. And Brittany goes, what did you say? And Bronwyn's like, well, the last time I saw you up here, you were trying to get with one of the crew to come downstairs with you. And everybody's like, what? And Brittany goes, no, I was not. And then we flash back to the night before, and Captain Jason's like, did you have a good night? And she's like, yeah, I did, Captain Jason. Let me ask you this, Jason. Do you actually, run the ship with those big muscles? And he's like, yeah, what do you think? And she goes, could you give me a tour? And he goes, yeah, totally. And she goes, really? He goes, yeah, not now. Why not? She goes, why not? Tomorrow. And Brittany goes, I was looking for an excuse. And he goes, were you? Oh, well, And she goes, I was looking for an excuse to, get out of here. He's like, I've been up since 4 a.m, huh? And Meredith and Bronwyn watched this whole thing go down, right? And remember, she was flirting with other cast members after that. And Bronwyn goes, did you not tell Captain Jason I'd love to get out of here? And Brittany's just like, no, I didn't do that. No. And Meredith goes, the girls were saying he was coming out of your room last night. Brittany? I don't know. And Brittany goes, why are you even talking to me, Meredith? Shouldn't you be bending water over me? And Meredith goes, I don't know. It's a bad idea. And they're just staring. It's brilliant. And Brittany finally goes, you know what? He was in my room because he was fixing the AC. Between my legs? No, fixing the AC. And then we flash back to Jason going into her room like, hello, this is Jason. Are you okay? You okay? Can I? And Brittany's like, it's just hot in here. And he's like, yeah? So I was wondering if I'm not doing something correctly. By the way, she's fully nude. No. Brittany in this scene goes, no one else was in our room last night. Just my little unicorn and me. And then we flash back to the uniform, the unicorn. And with Jared's voice going, good night, baby. You are loved. Good night, baby. You are loved. And then Lisa goes, enough with the pile on. Captain Jason's not interested. It's dumb, right? And Brittany has no reaction, but inside, she's dying. What do you mean no reaction? And Lisa goes, back me up on this, Daisy. Back me up, Daisy. Come on. Is he interested? Say no. Hard no, right? And Daisy's like, I have no idea. Because they're looking for a tip at the end of this, right? And Lisa goes, it's ridiculous. And I feel bad for him. I wouldn't want my name dragged around in a conversation that I'm not a part of. Don't do this to people. Don't slut shame Captain Jason, you guys. And Bronwyn's like, oh, come on. I can't even sit on the deck without hearing you and Brittany talking shit about me downstairs, saying I'm a snake. I've done this to Brittany before. I've done this. And Lisa goes, you did. And then Brittany goes, then Bronwyn goes, bringing up my fucking daughter's grandparents again. And Mary goes, oh, Lord. And a talking head, Mary goes, oh, Lord. She was like, and crosses her eyes. Mary Cosby making one of the best faces I've ever seen on reality television. I got to take a snapshot of that for posterity. Oh, Lord, she was like, rrr. And Bronwyn's like, when I specifically told you, Lisa. And then Lisa's like, stop yelling at me. Stop yelling at me. And Bronwyn's like, stop fucking you yelling at people. Do not talk about my child or her grandparents again. We had this agreement. We flash back to earlier in the season where Bronwyn says, I don't want anything said more about Todd or the kids or John, right? And they agreed to this. And Bronwyn said, and then you're standing in the back of the fucking boat saying it to Brittany of all people. And Lisa goes, I did say that to Brittany. I did say that. And Bronwyn's like, stop talking about my fucking child. I am not talking about your child. I am not talking about your child. And Bronwyn throws her napkin down. Stop fucking talking about it. I swear to God. If you can't agree to this. And Lisa goes, this is deflecting. Sit down. Sit down. Lisa, you couldn't sit down last night. And then Bronwyn's like, no, you're deflecting, Lisa. I swear to God. Mary in a talking head goes, this would be a great time for Angie to go ahead and get back sick. And then we can go back to the quiet space. And then we flash to Angie, and we just flash to Angie in Mary's room. I like that Mary Cosby calls it the quiet place. Get back to the quiet place. And she goes, and just be quiet. Oh, man. Lisa goes, I don't want to say anything about anyone's kids. And I try really hard to do the right thing. I work so hard. And then Angie goes, bullshit. You know what you do? You dig up dirt on people, truth or not, and you talk about them, and you you behind their back talk about them, and you pretend to be their friend. And then this is wild. Even just a few weeks ago, you were talking about Bronwyn. And by the way, I have to do a costume change for this. 1 second, you guys. For those of you guys not watching and listening, I've now put on a lady's wig because I need this for the next scene. And Angie's like, yeah, just even a week ago with your hair over your face saying, yeah, Todd was making out with one of my friends while farting the entire time. And she has like her hair over her mouth while farting the entire time. And Lisa's like, I did not say one of my friends. I definitely said the farting thing. I didn't say, where you're wrong, Angie K. I didn't say one of my friends. But Bronwyn's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then Angie goes, you said one of my hot friends. How do you, girl with long hair is so hard to work with. And then Bronwyn's like, are you fucking kidding me? And everybody's just shocked. Like nobody could have prepared. Like this show is so damn good. Like we're at breakfast. Angie in a talking head goes, let me back up here. About a month ago, Lisa had her clarity luncheon. Remember where she dismissed all of her lawsuits for everybody? And Angie says, where she kissed all our asses. And Lisa at the end of the clarity luncheon where she goes, I love each and every single one of you. Even when I'm mad at you, I still love you. And they're all cheersing. And Angie goes, after that, we all went out to dinner at her club, Premier Vita Tequila Lounge. So we were sitting there and we see a picture of everybody, including Amy, the Utah socialite who wasn't invited on this yacht trip. And she says, so we were sitting there and Lisa pulled her hair over her face and she's like, Todd was making out with one of my friends while farting the entire time. I didn't want to tell Bronwyn, especially like this, but Lisa coming across like she's a good friend and always tries to do the right thing, it's just bullshit. I couldn't hold it in any longer. Man, Lisa, that's called a puke and rally. That's called a puke and rally. Boot and rally, folks. Angie puking all night. She comes back in, hitting hard. And then Bronwyn's fully standing up going, did you say he made out with one of your friends? And Lisa goes, I didn't. It wasn't one of my friends. But you said he made out with someone. And Lisa's silent. And then Bronwyn goes, fuck you. You're dead to me. You're dead to me. In a talking head, Lisa goes, I mean, I grew up in New York. I know a lot of people. And it came from someone that I believe and trust. So I believe that this happened. Her name was Reality Bontees. And I repeated what I heard to Angie. And now we know Angie is not a trustworthy bitch. And we will never do that again. I love that it once again is somebody else's fault. We found out that Angie is not a trustworthy bitch. And we will never do that again. And Bronwyn goes, you never said you're wrong, Lisa. Fucking admit you were wrong to say that about Todd. I was wrong to say that about Todd. I was wrong to say that about Todd. And Bronwyn's like, fuck, don't fucking speak about my family again. God, fuck you. Fuck. fuck you. And just Todd's voice is going through Bronwyn's head. Like, why get into the gutter with that Lisa whore Barlow? Why, you're going to travel halfway across the world. You're going to put a stain on your family's name. And Muzzy's talking to Todd of like, Bronwyn's doing something stupid by hanging out with that Lisa garbage can Barlow on a boat. But Bronwyn's just the torture. But I just still can't get the farting out of my head. Oh my God. You guys think Todd's coming to BravoCon? I said this on a podcast this week, but it's like, everybody's like, which Bravo celebrity do you want to get a picture with? And I really, honestly, I was like, Todd. Like, there's no joke in there either. Anybody that knows it, like Todd. I also would like with Ken Todd. I'd like one with Lisa Vanderpump, but like mainly Todd. And I don't think Todd's going to go because I don't want to be around with those freak Bravo fans. Are you kidding me? Bronwyn, I don't know why you have to go to Vegas to hang out with a bunch of hooligans at BravoCon, but I don't know. So Bronwyn's going to have her fun, so she's probably not going to bring Todd. But just on the off chance, just like, imagine me and the Todd father, and we're both like, and I'll be like, on the count of three, say, screw you, Lisa, and then we smile. And maybe we're like back to back, like Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen in those old video boxes, like It Takes Two kind of a thing. Anywho, sorry for that little detour. Bronwyn in a talking head goes, this has nothing to do with me believing this rumor or being worried about this rumor, but this proves Lisa is spreading rumors about me, just like Todd is spreading his butt cheeks and farting everywhere. She's never going to stop trying to eviscerate every aspect of my life. So, and then she flips the middle finger, the double bird, and she goes, we're done. And then Lisa goes, do you repeat all your conversations, Angie? Mary in a talking head goes, if someone told me my husband was making out with someone and farting, I don't know which one I'd be more devastated about. I mean, it's just embarrassing, Mary says. And then what's wrong with his intestines? Why is he farting? Oh my God. Because Mary is so interested. Like, remember, she doesn't eat fish because she doesn't want the fish to lay eggs in her intestines. Like, she's worried. Like, I want Mary to open like her version of Erewhon and Salt Lake City. But Mary goes, something's wrong. And that comes from a place of caring with Mary. Because like, she wants Todd's intestines to run right, And then Heather goes, I need to put a pin in this because we got to go. And Lisa goes, don't ever tell anything to her. Don't ever tell, she's talking to Mary, don't ever tell anything to her. And Angie goes, that's the lesson. And Lisa's screaming, like, don't do it. And Angie goes, don't say horrible shit about your friends. And then Lisa goes, you say horrible things. You do. You do say horrible things. And then Angie stands up, no, deflection. And Lisa's walking up, I feel sorry for you, for real. It would be great if Lisa walked out and she just farted on the way out. Second commercial break. So all the ladies are getting ready for the beach excursion. They're all changing in their rooms. And I swear to God, Angie's like trying to get out something to wear. And Mary Cosby has like this fancy scarf poncho thing that she's trying to put over her hat. And I swear to God, you guys, it's 50 seconds of a scene. That's how good this is. I watched Mary Cosby struggle with putting this poncho scarf over her hat, like a straight 50 seconds. And it was so entertaining watching her struggle with this thing. Like, somebody is coming for Shannon Bedore's crown as a physical comedian. And Mary Cosby, and she's just trying, and then she gets it off, and she goes, oh, it's hot in there. And you see that Mary Cosby is actually sweating, that this is how hard she was trying to get this thing over her hat. We see Bronwyn in her room, and she's just sitting there, and she just looks just bummed and sad, and she sniffles. And we hear Todd's voice. It's unclear to me why you want to go spend time with these people. Don't come home complaining that you and Lisa got into a fight. Bronwyn says, I should have known that this was coming. Because Todd knew this was coming. Lisa got exactly what she wanted. She wanted to get under my skin. She wanted to hurt my family. And I'm realizing there is no way for me to be in the same room as Lisa and not veer into this person that I don't respect in myself. But what would make Lisa most mad right now is if I went and had a great time. So fuck it. I'ma have the best time. And I love Bronwyn for this, man. This is somebody that doesn't give up. It's like, I'm going to out-fun everybody today. I truly love people like that. Anyways, everybody's getting on the tenders, ready to go. They're struggling to get on these tenders. Everybody's in their outfits. We're supposed to have a fun day. Heather's like, here we go, baby. Let's go. Woo! Woo! Everyone soak it in. Oh, this has to be pretty awesome, though, all joking aside. It looks gorgeous. They get up on this island, and they're all on this, like, island beach. Oh. So they have a little beach area set up, and Bronwyn and Angie are kind of getting their tootsies in the water, and Angie's like, I feel really bad. My heart went out to you today, Bronwyn, and I feel like I probably haven't been as supportive as I should have. And that's on Angie's thing too. Is like, why didn't Angie tell Bronwyn about the farting and all that stuff? But Angie says, I tried to stand up to her about what she was saying about Todd. And I'm sorry if I haven't been more supportive, and I don't love what she did to you today. And Bronwyn's like, I regret that I yelled and screamed and lost my mind. But I don't regret what I said, and I'm not going to take it back. And Angie says, I think the only way you're going to get her to stop talking about your daughter is just to hit her in the groin. No, she goes, and the situation and the grandparents is to be as stern as you were today. And Bronwyn's like, I really tried to be quick, to be like, what did I do wrong? What's my part in this? Focus on myself. How do I move forward differently? She's in here getting a fucking massage right now. And we see one of the crew members working on Lisa's naughty back, right? She's not sorry about shit. And Lisa's like, this feels so good. Give me a shiatsu. These poor crew people. I didn't even realize they had to give massages as well. Now we see the ladies snorkeling underwater and seeing all the fishies. I mean, I bet some of the fish were like, holy shit, it's the cast of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Like, oh my God, thank God it's not the Orange County ladies, right? You know, like the sea turtles are like, holy shit, it's you guys. They're probably just as excited as the ladies seeing the turtles. And so we see them under the water, which is great. It's cool visually, but let's get back to the fighting, you know? And then Lisa on the beach talking to Mary, and she's like, I don't know if you heard, like this morning, but we had like a really direct conversation where I was like, hey, you know, it bothers me because I'm like, I know you know that I would never feed stuff to the blogs. And like, I wish you said like Lisa would never do that. She's talking about Meredith to Mary Cosby. And Lisa's like, don't accuse her of doing it. And Mary's like, well, what did Meredith say? I think she feels like she does it in her own way, you know? And Mary goes, yeah, but do you feel that? And then Mary goes, privately, I feel like she totally gets me. And Mary's like, well, what point is it if it's private? You know what I mean? And Lisa goes, yeah, I mean, I feel like I have. I feel like, and Meredith now comes up behind Lisa. So Lisa's trying to figure out how to talk. And then Lisa goes, I feel like, Meredith, are you right here next to me? And Mary's like, I am. I'm moving a little shadier. And so Lisa's like, I was talking about this morning, Meredith. Like, you told me you support me in private. I feel like you understand me, Meredith. And Meredith goes, I mean, I support you privately and publicly, Lisa. I just think it's wild that everyone's so interested in how you and I engage with each other, but whatever. And then Mary goes, it's not wild. It's just bizarre is what it is. In a talking head, Mary's like, lately, I do feel like Meredith doesn't stick up for Lisa. That's another fascinating thing about this cast. Every time you think they're going to go right, they go left. Because I was like, Mary, you really think Meredith doesn't stand up for Lisa? And what would you be standing up for at this point? Because I don't think there's a lot to stand up for. But then there's somebody like Mary that goes, yeah, you know what? Meredith doesn't stick up for Lisa nearly as much as she should. And I'm like, holy shit, this gives us so many more possibilities. Like, nobody's fully ganged up on this cast. Mary's like, and if Lisa's really her friend, then Meredith should probably speak up and like help her out. Like, wow, can you believe I'm actually taking up for Lisa Barlow? No, Mary Cosby, I don't believe. Now, yesterday, I said something in the Dancing with the Stars recap to Rebecca because we talked briefly about Salt Lake, and I said I kind of find Mary Cosby attractive these last couple of seasons. And Rebecca has made fun of that. Like, made fun of me for that all day today. She's like, oh, you're going to tell Mary, oh, I bet you hope you see Mary Cosby at BravoCon. Yeah, I hope I do. Lisa goes, I feel like I do a pretty good job of standing up for myself, but there's sometimes I'm like, tap in. She like does this uncomfortable laugh. I'm like, tap in. And she touches Meredith, like, tap in. Like, I need the tap in. And Meredith goes, I will support you if I agree with you. If I don't agree with you, I'm not going to tap in. And Lisa goes, but I don't feel like you would. It's that simple, Lisa, and I do support you, and I'm really tired of this narrative. So if you guys want to continue with it again, go for it, and you'll see what it feels like to not have any support like I did. I'll never tap in. And the poor, the guy with the weird hair, the deck crew, is like, do you want a spicy margarita? And Meredith's like, I'm done with the conversation. So, and the guy keeps trying to like pass off the spicy margaritas. And then another commercial break. We come back and the guy's still like, spicy margarita. And Meredith's like, yes, I would love one. Thank you. Yes, of course. And the guy's like, sorry to interrupt your fight. He's like, no, we're done. No, we're done. And then Lisa goes immediately back into the fight. I don't know why you're getting so upset, Meredith. Because I've had everyone in this group accuse me of not supporting you when that's all I've fucking done. And Mary inserts herself and goes, Meredith, I mean, she's telling you there's an issue in you guys' friendship and that she doesn't feel like you take up for her and that's how she feels. And Meredith goes, well, if that's the case, then I'm sorry. And Mary goes, I mean, you have to respect her feelings. And Meredith goes, what would you like me to do, Mary? Would you like me to cry about it? And Mary goes, I don't care what you do. You're not a good friend. You're not a good friend. And then Mary goes, go jump in the ocean. Go do something interesting. And Meredith goes, you go do something, honey. And then Mary goes, I think you're boring. Woo, do not get read by Mary on a beach. And then Meredith goes, I do a lot of very interesting things. And Mary goes, go find a good story that you can tell because right now you're a snooze. And by the way, like, I love Meredith. I truly do. But I feel like I'm scared that Meredith's like on the verge of becoming a friend of next season. And Mary, in some ways, it's like that coach in the movie that's like giving you tough love because he really believes in the student. So in my world, Mary just is trying to give Meredith that hard love and push that she needs to like wake up. It's like, I think you're a snooze. And Meredith gets up. She's like, doesn't want to hear this. She goes, see you later. See you later. Alligators. And then Mary doesn't even phase. She goes, Mary's getting a good old, no, she goes, Whitney's getting a good old massage over there. And Lisa goes, I know, Whitney, how good is her massage she's giving you? It's so good, this massage. So good. And Heather comes up, says the snorkeling was amazing. She's hugging Brittany, hugging Meredith. Heather's like, I swam with a stingray. And Bronwyn says, Heather, I kissed you. I'm having fun. I have a drink. And Heather's like, I'm so happy you're here. Margaritas and sunshine, Bronwyn. And Meredith's like, did you really swim with a stingray? Oh my God, me and Seth dream of that. I can't believe I'm not there to swim with sexy stingrays. I would love to put a stingray in our steaming baths, Meredith. Could I insert a threesome with the stingray? And Heather's like, I swam with the stingray just like I was fucking Nemo. It was amazing. Heather's in the talking head says, I never would have predicted that I could have had this much fun with Bronwyn and feel this so close to her in such a short amount of time. I mean, I think I was really committed to just like being irritated by her all the time. Now, this is really smart because remember, Heather was like really against Bronwyn last season and Heather heard the fans, man. Heather pays attention to the fans and she knows we didn't like that. So now Heather's like, I can't believe what a dum-dum I was. And she did it in kind of the right way where you don't really sense the move. You sense that it's almost real of like, and by the way, yeah, she should be getting along with Bronwyn. But Heather's like, I'm a little embarrassed by it took me so long to stop being so stubborn. Heather's also like, and I'm a big farter too, so I love Todd. So Heather's like, Mike, deckhand, come here. You guys, Michael is inside of house, outside of house, and his specialty is games. We would like to play a fun game. And he's like, never have I ever. Let's play never have I ever. And Heather's like, yeah, never have I ever. Yeah. And the guy's like, who's going to start? And Bronwyn's like, okay, Mary, never have I ever, go. And Mary goes, never have I ever peed in the ocean. And then she goes, or farted in the ocean. That's all Mary thinks about is farts. Or farted in the ocean. And Bronwyn goes, not peed or farted. And Mary's like, yeah. And then Bronwyn's like, I've peed in the ocean twice today. And Heather goes, have you ever farted while making out with someone? Heather asks Mary. And you would think Mary was just about to throw that drink in Heather Gay's face. And Bronwyn's like, it's too soon, Heather. Fuck off. Too soon because of what the Lisa said about Todd. But she's laughing about it. She's taking the power back, right? And then Lisa goes, what's something active we could do? And then the guy's like, yeah, I gotcha. So basically what you're going to do is start off at one side and go to another, okay? And you'll leave all your drinks on one side, and then you got to run to your drink, and you got to neck your drink, and you got to run back. And then the next person goes to drink. And everybody's like, neck your drink off? I don't know what necking off is, but I'm pretty sure it's the same kind of thing that got me kicked out of BYU, or the thing that Todd did while he farted. So now they're doing this game where they're racing to their drinks, and this is actually, I don't usually like action scenes, but it's fun to watch these ladies run to their drinks, chug their drinks, and then run back. This reminds me of the old days when my body used to be able to process alcohol, right? And Brittany's Brittany runs and she comes back and she falls fucking hard on the sand. And Bronwyn's like, a souvenir I'm taking home with me is the mental picture of Brittany face planting while we were necking off. Ha 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 ha. And then we replay Brittany falling hard in the sand. I love you, baby. It's me, Jared, the unicorn. And Bronwyn's like, I thought she'd be the queen of this game. But Brittany picks herself back up and just runs with a smile on her face. But everybody's hugging and loving on each other and laughing, and they really rallied. No matter what is happening between these ladies in terms of fights, they're able to play this neck-off game, and this was what makes them magical. And everybody's the winner. The winners, everybody's the winner, you guys. It's amazing. So now they're going to head back to the yacht. Heather says, anytime that you can get us doing something physical and competing against each other like in a relay race or something where we're using our bodies instead of the mind, Heather says, instead of the mind games that they play against each other, we're going to have a good time. And now you can tell Heather's already tipsy again. Heather's back in that drunk space she was the night before. And she's already up on the guy driving the little Tinder boat. He's like, bring it in, buddy. I'm going to put my arms around you. I'm going to put my hands on your male bosom as we run. And Heather's like, ride him, cowboy! And she's humping his behind as we're going to live forever! Woo! And so they pull up to the boat, and they're met with drinks, as you always are when you get back to the yacht on below deck. It's rum punch. Heather's like, rum punch, I'm going to take one, yeah. And Bronwyn's like, I'm going to take one as well. And Heather's like, drinking buddies. And then Heather's like, bitches, you got to show up as zombies as dinner. It's zombie night. We got to dress. And so Angie's going to go shower. And she says, I feel good, Mary. I'm going to keep it this way. That was fun. We see Chef Ben. He's going to do lamb for dinner. And then we are doing a zombie ice cream head. And now Angie goes down to Michael, the stew guy, the deck guy. And he's like, Michael, we need a blow dryer. And then you to blow our hair off. And he's like, me specifically? How long have I got? Because they have to say yes to everything. And Angie's like, 10 minutes. He's like, okay, I'll blow dry your hair. Yeah, okay. 12 minutes. I'll be there, right? And the other lady asks him, are you a hairdresser as well? And he goes, no, And Daisy tells Captain Jason, he's like, Heather said something about you having dessert with him because you missed last night. And she asked if you could sit, Captain Jason, topless, having dessert. And everybody's laughing. Captain Jason is so used to this. He's like, I'm asked to be topless at every meal. Bronwyn is talking to Angie and Mary in their room, and Bronwyn's like, I have to take Whitney a nail file. Angie, come with me in an inflatable costume to her room. And remember, Bronwyn always showed up at airports to embarrass Todd in these inflatable costumes. I love this about Bronwyn. And Angie's like, what am I going to be? And Bronwyn's like, I have a blue shark, a pink shark, and a seahorse, and a lobster. And these are big things to pack. And then we see Bronwyn just amazing. Like, you're like, of course they have inflatables. Of course they do. And they're colorful. I mean, it just gives a whole energy to the scene, right? And Bronwyn's directing Angie to get her head over this thing and to put it on the right way. Bronwyn knows how to put it on immediately, and Mary thinks this is magic. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God. And Bronwyn's like, it's like dressing a drunk baby. Ha 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 ha. Wait till it fluffs up, Mary. And Bronwyn's is already fully inflated. She's the shark. And Bronwyn's like, we've got to get out of here. You know, we've got to get out of here while these blow up because to fit outside the door. And Bronwyn gets out of the door in her shark outfit. And Angie's coming out of the door. Everybody's having a good time. And Bronwyn's laughing at Angie. And then all of a sudden, you guys, she's edging out of the doorway. And then the door jamb slams on Angie K's hand. And Angie's like, oh, the door closed on my hand. Oh, no. Ah! And then you hear the echoing of her screaming. And then we go to an underwater shot with the sea turtle. And you still hear the, oh! And everybody's laughing. But it's like, it's serious. And Bronwyn's like, and she's like, no, I'm fine. It would be great if like Angie just pukes immediately. And Angie goes, no, it's fine. I went to all this trouble to get in this. I'm fine. And she's like, oh my God, is it bad? No, it's fine. Let me just get this. Ah! Oh my God, I'm in so much pain. And she's just struggling with this inflatable as she's screaming, and we still don't know the damage, right? And then she's like, I need the doctor. And Bronwyn's like, we have a medical emergency. And Daisy comes around. And she's like, oh. And then she sees her hand. Angie's hand is bleeding. And Bronwyn's like, we were being stupid. And then her hand got caught in the door. And we see Angie's bloody hand. Her bloody hand. And Daisy's like, oh, God, wait here. I've got to get something. We're going to have to amputate. And they're still in these inflatables. So it's so ridiculously funny, even though it's serious, right? All great comedy comes from pain. And Bronwyn's like, oh my God, it's so much blood. Oh my God. And Daisy's like, oh my fucking God. And Angie's like, oh, I think I broke it. That's my hairdressing hand. Holy shit. Oh, Jason, Daisy. Can you please come up to the main saloon? And Angie's like, it looks so terrible. I think I ripped my fingernail off. And Jason comes up. Yeah, and Jason already had a packer in ice last night. And Angie's like, it's me again, Captain Jason. I'm so sorry. And he's like, I'm trying not to laugh. And he's like, I don't know what happened. And they're in the inflatables. And she goes, I've been in so much trouble to you. And Bronwyn's like, actually, can you not clean it off? Because it's really zombie-ish. Maybe you should leave it. He will never have you back, Angie. None of us can come back because we have lost fingers in door jams. And Jason's like, I'm going to get a little bandage and then I'm going to get you wet. Oh, no, I just mean I'm going to get you a little bandage. No use looking at it now. Just hold the pressure on it. Angie says, I mean, what did I do to deserve this? I'm the nicest one in this goddamn group. And Angie says, why have you guys had to take care of me for 2 nights? Oh my God, I'm a liability. But by the way, she rallies though, because she's still kind of has a smile on her face. I mean, she's pale as shit, but she has a smile on her face. And Bronwyn's like, how does Sean deal with you? Are you like this at home? No, he's usually on the mean streets of Salt Lake. No, Angie's like, no, well, sometimes, not really. This is me. This is terrible. Oh, commercial. So the ladies are getting ready for zombie night, and I just love Meredith is staring at herself in the mirror. It's like a tight shot of her looking at herself in the mirror, and she's unlike she has a little piece of tape that has like a little zombie stitch with blood, and she has her glasses on, and she peels off the tape, and it's like this perfect blood stitch thing, and she's like, wow, look what, yeah, try that, makeup artist, wow. And everybody's throwing on their zombie clothes. The below deck guy has helped Angie with her hair. And she's like, you guys, I've got him trained. He's never even done this before. Michael, you are a born hairdresser. And this guy has some weirdly unfortunate hair himself. I can't tell what his hairstyle is. I've never seen something like this before. And I know I'm going to love him on Below Deck Down Under. And he's like, the thing is, right, if I worked at your hairdressing salon, the amount of women that would flock to get their hair done by me, you know? Bronwyn is talking to Heather, who has a saw through her head. She has like a saw thing with her head. And Bronwyn's like, I overnighted these from the UK. And Heather's like, holy fucking shit. Heather is just tanked. And Heather's like, yes, we are. And I don't even know what these things are yet. And they're like little octopus things. And Bronwyn's like, I'm going to put one on my shoulder and one on my face. And Bronwyn's like dancing weird. I kind of love Bronwyn in these moments. She's like dancing, like, I don't know. She's just funky, man. And Heather's like, I love a fucking theme and a girl who dresses on theme. Lisa has like a bow and arrow through her head as well. And she's like, I'm not feeling this dress. And Meredith goes, that is so not zombie, Lisa. That's not a zombie outfit. Look at the thing I just did with my makeup. That's zombie. That's zombie. And everybody's just doing this up to the nines. Brittany has a knife through her head. Everybody has blood makeup on. They're using blood spray. And they're like, hey, Heather, don't do that on the carpet. And now they've gotten blood spray all over the below deck down under carpet. And if you watch Below Deck, you know how much these captains freak out when people spill shit on their carpet. Heather says, why zombie night? I mean, we love to dig up dirt on each other, and we love to resurrect old fights from the grave. I mean, Salt Lake City really is the Housewives version of Summer House, where they have to dress up every weekend, but they're just doing it so damn well. And Heather's like, we could be our own horror movie. And then all of a sudden they do like a fake preview of like some kind of horror film. And it's like, in a world of gossip and innuendo. And then we hear Meredith's voiceover, the rumors and nastiness. And then it's a black and white horror film where you see all the ladies in their zombie makeup coming around the corners and acting like zombies. And the Chiron says, 8 creatures of the undead feast on rumors. And you hear Angie's voice lowered, high body count hair. And then you hear somebody say, you exploited my vagina, garbage horse. Stop talking about my daughter. And they're all walking around like zombies in black and white. And then Mary Cosby has a knife through her head and she's trying to get through the door. And then it turns to color all of a sudden. And Mary's just like, how can I get the door open? Lord. And then it goes back to black and white. And then it says the real zombies of the yacht apocalypse. I'd watch it. I'd watch it in a heartbeat. Anyways. The galley guy's like, welcome to horror nights. And they're all sitting around the table and they all have like knives and hatchets and saws through their heads. And they're getting drinks ready. And Lisa's like, I'd love a bloody cocktail. And Brittany laughs. And Mary's like, can I get an old chateau? Like an old whatever vintage you have, I'll have that. Daisy's in zombie makeup as well. They all just look fantastic. Mary gets a big old glass of this old chateau. Heather cheers to zombies and Angie making it, even though her finger was hurt. Mary gets her glass and she's like, wait. Why does this have lips on it? This has lips on my glass. These aren't my lips. These aren't my lips. And she tells the guy, I haven't touched this drink, but there's like lips. These aren't my lips. These aren't my lips. So he goes to get to another glass and Mary's like, those are not my lips. My lips are not that small. And they have a shot of Meredith and she kind of has this half smile, but she has a saw through her head. And it's just the cutest damn thing. And Bronwyn's next to her with this octopus suction to her face. Everybody's just darling. And then Heather's like, you guys, how do we feel the crew did with our zombie theme? And we see the bloody knives hanging from the wall. We see caution tape. It's cool. And Heather goes, I might wonder, when would a hazmat balloon be appropriate? Because there's hazmat balloons. Mary gets a new glass of wine. She's in heaven. And Heather's like, we all look amazing. And Mary's like, you're the only zombie that I smell alcohol on their breath, to Heather. I love Mary just gently pointing out that Heather is fucking shit-canned wasted. The food is getting brought out, and then Heather's like, do it as zombies, and then they're delivering it as zombies. Oh, Lisa doesn't have a saw through her head. She has like a syringe, like a giant syringe stuck through her head. And, God, it's just a feast for the eyes. For your starter, you have caviar and lentils. Caviar lentils? I've never even heard of that. And butter syrup caviar, which is Meredith Marks's personal caviar. And Meredith's like, she's very happy. So everybody's enjoying Meredith's caviar. The lamb is getting pulled off the grill, the stove, whatever. Chef Ben's doing his job. And Heather goes, has any of you ladies checked in on the home fronts? I personally turned my phone off and have not checked in. And Bronwyn's like, I called Todd and Gwen, obviously. I mean, they weren't exactly jazzed about my updates. I think it hurt Todd's stomach. You know what I mean? And Heather goes, you said the thing about the farting and the making out? And Bronwyn's like, of course I did. Why should I be ashamed? Why should I be ashamed to say it? And Heather's like a saw through her head. And she's like, what? And Bronwyn's like, I'm not the one who made up. Can you, I don't fart like that. Are you kidding? Lisa's a trash can. And Heather's like, what happened? What happened? Tell me. And Bronwyn's like, I think Todd always feels like he's not really sure why he's a punchline here all the time. And everybody's just quiet. And Bronwyn's like, here, I agree with that. And everybody's silent. And Bronwyn's like, I just feel really like Todd and Gwen need to be off limits. And it doesn't seem like that's something you can commit to, Lisa. And Lisa pauses and goes, as of today, I will never, ever bring them up. And Bronwyn's taking that in. And Lisa goes, or in any capacity, I will never, ever bring them up. And Bronwyn goes, okay. And I'm very sorry that I hurt your feelings and Todd and Gwen's. Very sorry. And Bronwyn's like, thank you. Thank you. In a talking head, Bronwyn goes, I think it's disrespectful not to acknowledge when someone is speaking to you. So I acknowledge that Lisa is speaking and it is to me. Otherwise, those words mean nothing. In a talking head, Lisa goes, I didn't tell Angie anything with the intention for her to bring it in front of a group and humiliate Bronwyn. No, you thought you were all being snide and snarky behind the scenes. I don't like to hurt people that way. I just like to pass on rumors and gossip to other people. And Lisa's like, humiliation. I've never done that. I've never gone after that tactic. I'll defend myself, but I don't try and go for the jugular. I can. And if you open the door, I'll walk through it. But I just want to be status quo at this point with Bronwyn. And I'm genuinely sorry if she's embarrassed and hurt. Yeah, I thought that moment, that was the only thing that I didn't guess right, because I was like, oh my God, they're going to now do an editor troll where they'll show 4 moments where Lisa has done exactly the thing that she said she doesn't do, because they could have done that so easily, right? And then Mary Cosby goes, good job, Lisa. Good job, Lisa. Good job. And there's more silence. The food's getting out. They come out walking like zombies again. And Heather's making this weird zombie face. And so this is the zombie lamb. The boat is rocking, Heather says. Don't come knocking. And Brittany's starting to look a little like, ugh. And Heather's like, do you feel the boat rocking and rolling? This is crazy. And then all of a sudden, Brittany's like, she makes the throw up face and she stands up. And everybody's like, oh no, Brittany. And Brittany's like, I'll be right back. And she goes to the side of the boat and she's has her hand over her mouth, trying not to throw up. And she's like, oh. And now she has a glass in her hand. But you guys, when she was walking to the ledge of the side of the boat, she didn't have a glass originally. So I don't know where this glass appeared from. I don't know if the crew gave it to her, but she's literally vomiting over the side of the boat. And Bronwyn's like, I mean, it's not zombie night until somebody comes back up from the grave, So Brittany throwing up feels pretty on brand for this dinner. And so Brittany, once again, pukes and rallies, dude. She comes right back and sits right back down. And Whitney goes, are you okay? And Brittany goes, I just got a little seasick. Just a little seasick. And then Daisy's bringing out shots for everybody, tequila shots. And Brittany immediately picks hers up after she pukes and starts drinking it. And Meredith's checking out Brittany wow. And Meredith goes, can I just say, why are you drinking tequila when you just threw up? And Brittany immediately goes, because I'm trying to feel better. Yeah, I really do like Brittany. I like Brittany, yeah, because I'm trying to feel better. That's why we drink to excess. And Heather goes, give her a break, Mersey. And Brittany goes, why is it your business, Meredith? Like, why do you care? And Meredith goes, is there anyone at the table who thinks drinking tequila? And then Brittany goes, are you the expert at vomiting, Meredith? And Meredith goes, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And Heather raises her hand like she's the expert. And Brittany goes, why would you care? And Meredith goes, you think drinking tequila while you're throwing up is a good idea? And when he goes, I think it's her business. Maybe she's having the hair of the dog. And when Heather goes, hair of the dog, woof, woof. And then Meredith goes, this is where Meredith's her voice changes from like 4 different accents in this scene. She goes, I would say that to my daughter, I would say that to anybody. And Brittany goes, the rocking got to me for a second and I'm trying to feel better. And then Meredith goes, not that I care, not that I care. And I like when Meredith, she'll do this kind of Stevie Wonder motion where she'll like lean her head to the right and to the left and she'll look directly up. Not that I care, not that I care. And Brittany goes, you know what? I'm actually concerned about something that I saw on TikTok. I'm like, uh-oh, TikTok. I'm concerned about everything I see on TikTok. And Lisa goes, what is it? I'm like, what did Brittany see on TikTok? And Brittany goes, I saw something on TikTok today about Seth's possible indiscretion. You can rally and immediately brings up an indiscretion about Seth on TikTok. But you know my man Seth, if he is having indiscretions, he ain't farting doing it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody on the table's like, no, no. And our final commercial break. So Meredith is taking this in, what was just said. And Heather goes, what are you saying? And Brittany goes, Seth's having a mistress? Huh. And everybody's just staring. And then we go to 3 hours earlier where Brittany is showing Whitney a TikTok where this lady is talking and saying, my friend's Uber driver last month in Columbus, Ohio, which is where I'm born, by the way, showed her a picture of Seth with his mistress because she was their Uber driver like 6 months ago. And so like Brittany is like staring at Whitney and Whitney staring back at Brittany. And back in the scene, Lisa goes, why would she say that? And Meredith, this is where her accent work is just insane. She goes, my husband does not have a mistress. My husband does not have a mistress. We are in a monogamous marriage because your boyfriend breaks up with you every time he wants to sleep with someone else. That's your problem. And Brittany goes, I break up with him. And then Meredith goes, not mine. It was like a roll. Not every time you go to make a cookie. It's like the Swedish chef from the Muppets, right? That's what Meredith sounded like. And then Meredith goes, you're a liar and a malicious, despicable person. And you know what? I'm not interested in you trying to interfere in my relationship because you're jealous that you can't hold a man down. Her voice goes high and low and it speeds up and slows down like I thought I was on acid. It was something this is what we call like, it's like when Michael Jordan like taught himself how to play basketball again after he spent those like the couple years playing baseball. And he had to go back. Like Meredith's like this is like a master trying to find a different way to emphasize anger in a monologue. And Meredith found a way. I was like, whoa, you know that sound you've been looking for? Listen to this. And then Brittany goes, I mean, it's all over. I mean, have you not seen it? It's all over TikTok. I've never seen this actually. I'm on TikTok a lot. And Meredith goes, no, I have not seen it. Nor do I care. And when he goes, I've seen it. She showed me. And Meredith goes, yeah, so she's sharing it. You didn't see it. And Brittany goes, listen, I get it. If you don't want to share, I get that. And Meredith goes, you stay away from me. She needs to stay away. And she rips her knife head thing off her head. She needs to stay away. And Brittany goes, oh my gosh, now you're going to throw something at me? No, not at you. Not at you. And Brittany goes, you broke a glass on me. You broke a glass on me last night, Meredith. And Brittany's smiling. You broke a glass on me last night, Meredith. And Meredith goes, no, you tried to throw it at me and I put my hand down. In a talking head, Meredith goes, I don't know why Brittany is even talking about me, my marriage, or my husband. I have not talked about all this stuff out there about Brittany. Like, there's plenty to talk about. Leave me alone. Leave my husband alone. Go focus on your own misery because you're a miserable bitch. Yeah, Meredith. And then Meredith keeps talking and Brittany keeps talking over each other. And Meredith's like, I don't want this miserable bitch around me. And Brittany's like, I don't feel safe right now, And Meredith's like, she's filled with hate. Keep her away. But he's like, that's all I'm saying. And now they're bringing more zombie food. And the guy's picking up Meredith's saw, the head saw. He's like, whose is this? Is this your saw, Meredith? And Meredith puts it back on. And Jason comes out with like bloody makeup. And Meredith goes, should I bring up all the troll commentary about every single person? And Brittany goes, we're not saying it's true, Meredith. We're just saying, she goes, we're not. We're not saying it's true, Meredith. We're just saying that. And Meredith goes, oh, no, honey. You brought it up. I don't need to talk to you anymore. And Jason has sat down to enjoy dessert. And Heather's like, you look great. I'm going to fuck you tonight, Jason. And Meredith goes, you don't want to talk about what I've seen about other people's husbands. You want to talk about husbands? We can talk about husbands. You can leave. But Meredith's like, I don't think so, honey. I don't do that. And Jason's like, how's the dessert, ladies? And Meredith's like, you're just gross and just like her. You're just gross. You're vile. And Jason stands up because nobody's even paying attention to him by it. But he's like, I'm going to get up now. And Meredith goes, I knew about you a year ago and I know it again now. And Lisa goes, oh my God, I love how he just gracefully declined. Lisa's like, I hope we don't look stupid. And Daisy's telling Jason, I'll get you dessert if you want to enjoy your dessert. You're not meant to be there. And Heather goes, that was great. You guys chased him off the fucking table. And Wendy goes, yeah, that's our friend. And Lisa's like, that was like embarrassing. And everybody just has saws and blood on their head. And that's where we end this week's episode. And Heather goes, the zombie ice cream cake, delicious. Next time on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And we have more of Bronwyn's inflatables. And they're throwing Brittany's Jared unicorn doll over into the water. Oh, God, the fact that I couldn't just dive in there and grab it. Like, please tell me one of this below deck down under crew members saved this unicorn because this belongs in a museum. So they throw it overboard and you hear a distorted voice go, you are loved. And then Whitney saying, you missed the flight. Meredith was completely unhinged. And Lisa goes, Meredith was yelling about me, about her. And then Brittany saying, so out of control. And Mary Cosby saying, at the end of the day, right is right and wrong is wrong. But we don't know who they're talking to. And then Meredith smiling, walking, and Meredith saying, if I was yelling and screaming, I would have had an air marshal there waiting to arrest me. So I guess something goes down on the flight, you guys. Oh my God, that's all airlines need is to deal with a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City fight. You guys, we did it. I'm so excited. I hope you had a good time today. I know that was crazy. I get crazy when I talk about Salt Lake or if I talk about anything, but I hope you enjoyed it today. And I'll talk to you on Friday for the OC recap. And yeah, I'm going to do the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City after show. I'm going to do that on the Patreon like I did last week. So if you want to join the Patreon or you're a member of Patreon, that should be there in the next couple of days. Okay. Have the best Thursday ever, folks. Bye.